So I'm going to show you how to do a folded cast off. So you can see from my work here, this is a trim that I've just knitted, and this is the main body of the work. And you can see this is the right side of the main body of the work, and this is the wrong side of the trim. So the last row I worked is a purl row, and I'm just going to turn my work around so the needle sits at the bottom, and I'm just going to show you how it's going to be folded. So we're going to be folding the trim over like this and casting it off whilst doing so. So you need the wrong side of the trim facing upwards and the right side of the main fabric facing upwards too. So first we're going to identify which stitches we're going to attach the trim to whilst casting off. So we're going to take the first stitch and you're just going to follow it all the way down, and you're going to find the very first row of purl bumps where you started knitting your trim. So this is this very row here, and we're going to go into the very bottom row, this one here, and we're going to work across all of these ones. So just the very first row of purl bumps I'm going to be working into. So to start with, keep your yarn at the back of the work, and we're going to put our needle through the first purl bump here, and then I'm going to transfer it to the left needle like so. Now you can see you've got this stitch we've just picked up and the very first stitch here, and I'm going to insert my needle through both knitwise and then take my yarn and knit the two stitches together like so. So you've now got one stitch on your right hand needle. So now we've done one, we're going to go back to this first row of purl bumps and pick up the next stitch along, which is this one, transfer it onto the left needle like before, and then knit these two stitches together like so. Now you can see that I've got two stitches on my right hand needle, and so we can begin to cast off like you normally would. So insert your left needle into this stitch and pull it over that one like that. So you've cast off one stitch while folding it over to create the trim. So you just keep going like that, going back to the purl bumps, picking up the next one, transferring it to your left hand needle, knitting the two stitches together, and then casting off like so. Ooh. And again, so back to the purl bumps, pick it up with the right needle, transfer to the left, knit two together, and then slip this stitch over like so. And you can see we're beginning to get our folded cast on off even, which is starting to look really neat. And you just continue to work this way throughout the whole row. So now you can see I've finished casting off the rest of the row, and you've got this really neat trim. The wrong side looks like that, and then the right side has this lovely neat edge on the front where you've cast off. So now I'm going to show you how to cast off using a folded cast off on the cast on edge. So this is going to be the right side of my trim, and this is going to be the wrong side. So the last row I've worked is a purl row, as you can see, and I'm going to position my work so the wrong side is facing upwards like this, and we're going to fold the trim over like this as we cast off. So to start with, we're going to identify where we're going to be working into. So you're going to start with this very first stitch, so you can follow it all the way down and find the very cast on edge, which is this very edge stitch, which is this one. So I'm not going to be going into this one, so the very edge one, we're not going to go into this one. Instead, we're going to go one up, which is this one. So not the very edge stitch, we're going to be working with the row above, which is just here, these ones. So you can identify them. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put our right needle into the first of the cast on, and then we're going to transfer this stitch onto the left needle, like so. Now, as you can see, my yarn has come to the front, so I don't want that. I actually want my yarn at the back, so I'm just going to do that again. So you've got your picked up stitch on your right needle, yarn at the back, and transfer it to the left needle. Now we're going to knit these two stitches together, so I'm just going to put my needle through both stitches knitwise and knit them together like so, and that's the first stitch you've done. So now we're going to follow it along, so you can see this is the next stitch identified because we're working along this row here. So I'm going to have it on my right needle like that, and then transfer it onto my left needle, and then knit these two stitches together. Now, sorry, I've just jumped ahead. So I've knitted the two stitches together, and now you can see you've got two stitches on the right hand needle, which means that we can just cast off like normal. So I'm going to insert my needle into this stitch and lift it over that one, like so. So now we can go down to the next stitch along here, put it on the right needle, transfer it to the left, knit two together, and then cast the stitch off. So I'll just show you a bit slower. So we're going to go into the next stitch here and transfer it to the left needle, then knit these two stitches together, and then cast off by lifting this stitch over that one. And you just carry on working like this throughout the whole row, casting each stitch off while creating this fold over here. So you can see now we've got this nice fold and also quite a neat edge here. So having finished the row now, you can see I've got this really neat folded cast off, and it's literally folded my work in half and cast off really neatly. So that now makes a really nice trim.